Hi, good evening. I'm all alone tonight, so there's nobody can call in, but I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Diane Shapiro. I'm the Director of Safety and Education of Abate, and I'm the person that goes into the schools and talks with the students about road safety, sharing the road, and so on. The mission of Abate of Illinois is to preserve the universal right to a safe, unrestricted motorcycling environment and to propose and advocate actions that can be taken by elected and appointed officials to protect and conserve the natural resources of the state of Illinois and ensure through professional management that sustainable use, recreational opportunities, and enjoyment of these resources is available for this and future generations. To fulfill this mission, we will safeguard the rights of all motorcyclists, endorse safety programs and education programs, promote unity through involvement, advocate political awareness and activism, and lastly, promote motorcycling enjoyment. Well, I hope everybody's had a great summer. I've had a wonderful summer campaigning. I'm running for Cook County Circuit Court Clerk, and I've been so grateful to have been endorsed by Abate. I'm first local candidate ever. We need to bring out the pro-motorcycle vote. We've got some great candidates running, and chiefly is Mike McAuliffe, who's been a good friend of Abate for a long time. He's facing a challenge up on the northwest side. And please, everybody, who in any way possible, if you can get out and support us, because we will defend your rights. At the moment, we have no motorcycle-friendly people in Cook County in our government. We have no motorcycle-friendly people, period, in the city of Chicago. And in fact, right now, we were just, Dan Harper, myself, there were several of us, forgive me if I'm skipping names, but the point is that it's not just the 42nd Ward, now it's the 46th Ward. They're trying, again, to keep motorcycles off Lakeshore Drive, which we know, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, but it's going to be another battle. Alderman James Kappelman called a town hall meeting the other day to hear from the neighbors who were, quote, complaining about the noise of motorcycles on Lakeshore Drive. We know that it isn't responsible motorcyclists. It's, for the most part, the sport bikers, the ones on the high-performance vehicles, and Abate does not have control over these people. We only have control over what we have control over. We need to unite and stand together. Again, I'm a passenger, not a rider. I respect everybody's rights, and unfortunately, there are people in the world who don't respect other people's rights. They always want to complain. Well, one of my favorite things, and I'm going to read this to you because this is exactly what came to mind when I was listening to these people complaining. Oh yeah, Oscar was there as well, and Sam Johnson. Forgive me if I'm missing anybody. But, you know, our rights as citizens are gradually being taken away from us by our elected officials who have never read the Constitution, have never read the Declaration of Independence, and don't understand that we are a constitutional republic. A constitutional republic is a nation of laws. A republic can stand for 1,000 years. And that's the reason why our founding fathers established America as a constitutional republic, because democracies only last at the most 250, 300 years, and they fall away into decadence. We can see it happening, and it's time to take it back. We must take our government back. Every time you say there should be a law, this should be banned, or we should mandate this, you're basically saying others should not be free to choose what's in their own best interest. You know what's best for others, and it should be enforced at gunpoint. At that instant, you prove yourself to be an enemy of liberty. You're saying the definition of freedom should be changed to fit your personal beliefs at the expense of others' individuality. If someone is not aggressing against another, you should have no interest in their actions. By advocating to control their actions, you are aggressing upon others. And this is all the more so why we must stand united. On the 23rd, we're going to have our Abate party, our free membership party. It's going to be at Llama's over at 3519 West Fullerton on Sunday the 23rd from noon until 5. Correct me on the time. Forgive me. I have to double check that. But it is the 23rd. It is a Sunday. And it should be a lot of fun. Potluck, friends getting together, discussing what's going on in the community. We have advocates working for us. We lobby in Springfield. We lobby in Washington, D.C. to preserve your rights. Please support Abate, even if, like myself, you're not a motorcyclist. Advocate for your friends. Advocate for freedom. Freedom is hard won. Just like when we had to fight a number of years ago, the banishing of motorcycles on Lakeshore Drive, and you can't do it because it's a state road. And you'd have to ban, even if you talk about banning all vehicles, you can't just ban one vehicle on a state highway. So again, the membership party, I'm running for Cook County Circuit Court Clerk. Mike McAuliffe is running, and he is one of our wonderful representatives in Springfield. He is our voice. He's being challenged. Please get the vote out. We have other candidates as well. You'll be notified in the newsletter, and get out behind all of our candidates. It's more than money. It's more than lawn signs. It's actually getting out there, talking to your friends. Ask 10 friends to ask 10 friends to call 10 friends. This is about liberty. This is about protecting our rights as citizens. We are free people as it stands right now. And if we give our rights away, good luck getting them back. Even with respect to helmet laws. We would rather that people wear helmets, but a helmet is not an accident prevention device. Not wearing a helmet should not result in a ticket, which would essentially be a scofflaw. We want freedom. Let adults make adult decisions for adults. And again, going back to what I do in the schools, and I have gone to a couple of schools. It hasn't been really easy with this climate, and they're talking about the strikes and the this and the that. But every time I go into the schools, I talk with the students. And in fact, I was over at Sen the other day, and we were talking about all sorts of different things. And I even advocated, because the class started talking about the laws in our state, and I was talking with them about how juveniles, if they break the law, can actually be charged as an adult, depending on the type of charge that they receive. And once they get sentenced to probation, it's not like adult probation. Adult probation is a fixed sentence, 6 months, 18 months, 12 months, 24 months with conditions. It can be extended if probation is violated, but juvenile probation is open-ended. There's no fixed period of juvenile probation. That judge can keep you on probation, community service, or whatever, as long as he or she sees fit. And the kids want to know, they're curious, they want to see what they can do. And I've even encouraged these young kids, run for office yourselves. If you don't like your alderman, you don't like your committeeman, you don't like what's going on in your community, challenge authority. Stand up to the powers that be. Do not let them take away a single one of your rights. As it stands right now in Cook County, gasoline taxes are 20 to 30 cents higher than in the neighboring counties. Cigarette taxes, water bills. I mean, they're charging now $8.50 for residential homeowners for garbage collection, and not one of our city fathers, any of our elected officials, is talking about saving money, being careful about husbanding resources, cutting back on their expenses. Maybe like Governor Rauner is doing, working for $1 a year and not getting a pension. People don't realize that Mayor Bloomberg, when he was mayor of New York, worked for $1 a year. Mitt Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, worked for free. Rahm Emanuel is making over $300,000 a year, as an example. And they're talking about raising our taxes. Folks, it's time to stand up to the powers that be and say no. 250 years ago, a revolution was sparked by an unfair tax on tea. Let's have that revolution at the ballot box, at the very least. A good old-fashioned American revolution. We elected them to represent us. They are our servants. We are not theirs. If I'm elected as Cook County Circuit Court Clerk, I will find ways of giving back money to the people, serving all communities equally, bringing all of our ethnic and racial communities together. It's time. I will find ways of saving money, serving all people. I'm a public servant, the same as I do with Abate. I do this joyfully and I do it gladly. And I do it for free, but I would do it for free anyways, even if a salary were offered. Because I've always been a public servant. I'm celebrating 7 years of retirement. 7 years. Where did the time fly? Sunday is my big birthday. I'm not going to say how old I am, but if I tell you it's my monkey birthday and you could do the math. The point being, though, that each of us has something to offer, something we can do. If you can't run for office, vote. And if you can't vote, you have no right to complain. Get your friends out. Rally to the polling places. Vote for the people that you believe in and the people that you support and will support you. If they're working against you and they're not ethical public servants and they're not doing anything to give back to the community, they just have this expectation of being reelected because of the letter next to their name. Well, it's time to give them a little lesson that we in Abate stand together. Every one of us is greater than the whole of the sum of our parts. We have a voice. We can stand together and unelect any of these kleptocratic, that's government by theft, face it, that's what we have. We stand up against them. We have that revolution at the ballot box. We take back our city, our county, our state, and we make it work. We give our money to Abate so that we can send lobbyists to Washington, D.C. and to Springfield and support candidates who support us. I will always have the back of the motorcycle community, of the law enforcement community, and the military community. And in fact, my plan is to hire immediately from the military. That's the law, and it has not been obeyed. We have to honor every one of our servicemen and women with jobs. They served us, we serve them. Politicians have made politics a dirty word. They've forgotten that at the root of it is public service. Our founding fathers wouldn't have dreamed that we would have an elected class of politicians, dynasties that are sucking us dry and raising our taxes rather than husbanding our resources. It's our taxes that they spend. It's our taxes that pay their salaries. It's time to say enough. Enough, enough, enough. Get out there and vote. Rally your friends. Stop the hemorrhaging of our money. Stop the dynasties. Make these people work for us as we elected them to do. So on Sunday the 23rd, which is a week from Sunday, we'll have our Abate membership party, free. Bring something to share. Again, it's going to be at Llamas over at 3519 West Fullerton. If you happen to be around Llamas tonight, they're having their wing night or something like that. For me, well, it's Yom Kippur, so I kind of got to hightail it back to the family. But I will always have the back of every single one of you. I am just a public servant. I am just the Director of Safety and Education. I'm just a little cog in a big wheel. But the little cog in the big wheel can be a big voice. That stone on the water that resonates and spreads giant circles to reach as many people as possible. Folks, we can't do it alone. If given the opportunity, these people will take away the rights of every single motorcyclist, slowly but surely. Whether it's helmet laws, and fortunately Abate stood up for the dead red light bill. Things like that. All sorts of little things that people don't even think about or know about, and people who aren't involved with Abate don't realize it. That every motorcyclist, whether they're an Abate member or not, benefits by the hard work that every chapter of Abate here in this state does to preserve and protect the rights of every motorcyclist. We don't care what colors you wear. When you come in our territory, it's neutral. When you come in our territory, we're all friends. That's what it's about. It's camaraderie in the community. It's camaraderie of motorcyclists from all different backgrounds, all different groups. Whether you're law enforcement, you're a 1% or a Rolex rider, we love you, we respect you. And you deserve the same rights as a United States citizen as every other citizen deserves. Remind these politicians, remind them this November 8th that we're not going to take it anymore. Like the Twisted Sister song, and I'm not going to sing because even though I'm not in a religious institution, the Lord will smite me. Please get out there, research your candidates, get out there and support the candidates that Abate supports. Watch out for motorcycles. Tell your friends. Start seeing motorcycles. I've been seeing more and more of these posted as I travel through the state, which is really wonderful because a lot of people don't realize that we are as active as we are. We're kind of like a shark under the water, but no matter what, we are looking out for you. Our president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, myself, every one of us, we stand together. As a united front, we wield great power. The power of one can silence the voice of many when you stand up for what is right and what is just. Freedom? What more could we ask for? This is America. The Constitution, First Amendment, freedom of religion, press, assembly, speech, and petition. Peaceful assembly, speech, and petition. Like you can't have a riot and you can't shout fire in a crowded theater. We get that. Anyways, get back very quickly to what I do in the schools, and I'm going to, I'm tentatively scheduled to go to Morgan Park next week. We haven't figured out a day yet because of this whole teacher strike thing. This has been an ongoing problem with the schools, but it's so important to talk with the kids about distracted driving. Now, there are a lot of things that we've been posting on the Abate page in Facebook. And please, Pat Jones, Dan Harper, we're always sending out little emails and things like that, actions, and On To Go, and various other sites. Check out the various different Abate chapters, like Duquesne, Judy Canel. She's always posting great stuff. She and Wally are just like amazing. They come to our meetings too, great people. We got so many wonderful people in the organization. It's great to be part of a wonderful organization like this, and I'm so proud to have been the first local candidate ever endorsed by Abate, and I promise I will always do you guys and ladies proud. We're a team. We're a strong team as long as we may remain united. We're only as strong as the weakest link in our chain. We cannot allow anyone to break that chain. We've got to stand linked, arm in arm, standing up to authority, the powers that be, to always defend the rights of those least capable of defending themselves individually. I've been to a number of different fundraisers for various candidates that are supported by Abate, and I want to thank Pat for sending me to David McSweeney's event. There were a number of people there that support us completely. And these are the people that we need to support. If we need to be single-issue voters about motorcycle, then so be it. Single-issue voting sometimes is what is needed to be done to keep your rights preserved. The Abate in a couple of other states has lost the battle about helmet laws. Good luck getting those rights back. Everything in life is about choices. If I'm not aggressing on you, you should not be aggressing on me. Again, we elected our senators, our representatives to Springfield, to Washington, D.C., to the White House. Every one of these people, if you want to put it in perspective, the president is the highest political patronage job ever. So remind yourselves that the president didn't just become the president because he or she waltzed in. We elected them, and they must represent us. I want to thank you all for listening. I hope to see you all at the membership party on the 23rd. Thank you for your support. Check out the candidates that are endorsed by Abate. And be safe out there, and we'll see you all down the road. Thank you so much. Good night.